Okay, today I'm going to tell you a story about when I was a little girl and how Jesus protected us in different ways. We're going to talk about God's protection today. But we're going to start with this. Do you know what this is?
A globe.
A globe. Perfect. A globe is like a little miniature version of the world, right? So we're going to find where I grew up on this globe. But first, let's find the United States of America. Can you find it? Very, very good. I'm not so worried about the educational system anymore. Okay, so this is where we are right now, right? And we're over here on the West Coast in California. So if we get in an airplane and we flew all the way across America, and we keep on flying across the Atlantic Ocean, and we keep on flying till we get all the way over here. This is the continent of what? Africa. You're right. This is continent of Africa. Africa has lots of countries in it, and this country right here is called Nigeria. That's where I grew up. So it's on the other side of the world from where we are right now. So when I was a little girl, very little, even smaller than you are right now, one night I was in bed asleep. My parents were asleep. My sister was asleep. And what do you think happened? Well, some bad guys, some thieves, broke into our house. You know what thieves are, right? Guys that steal. So they broke into our house and they started taking all our stuff. We didn't know about it because we were sound asleep. Even my dad and mom were asleep. And they took out a bunch of stuff. We slept right through it. Then all of a sudden, one of them either tripped or dropped something, and my dad woke up and he came out to investigate, see what was going on. And he chased them away, and they ran out the back door, and our house was right near the jungle. And they ran in the jungle, and they dropped the stuff that they were carrying. And my dad, with his flashlight, was able to get back a bunch of the stuff. And the next morning, they found all the rest of our stuff. The thieves had just run away and dropped everything as fast as they could. And so you might be thinking, well, how was God protecting you? I mean, the thieves got in your house, right? So where was the protection? Do you have an idea?
The protection when the angel was by you, so in case they stole your stuff, they didn't kill you guys.
You are so perceptive. That is exactly one of the things that I was going to say. They didn't hurt us. They could have. Sometimes when people break into other people's houses, they get violent and they might hurt them, but they didn't. They came into my bedroom, and I never heard them. They didn't hurt me. They didn't hurt any of us. Another way that God protected us was we got our stuff back. They ran away and dropped all our stuff, and the next morning, my dad found it out along the trail where they ran as fast as they could. And I think the third way in that particular situation was maybe an angel tripped one of them or knocked something out of their hand, or somehow they made a noise. And then we woke up. Actually, my dad woke up. I never woke up. I never heard a thing. I only found out about it the next day.
If God protect you in a fourth way, would it be?
Well, I'm going to tell you about the fourth way right now. A few years later, what do you think we got? A beautiful dog. Her name was Twinkle. She was a nice, big, pretty good-sized dog. This is a picture of me with her. And this is a picture of my sister with her. And she was a Labrador Retriever, which is a pretty good-sized dog, but bigger than the dogs that the people had out there. And so word spread. Those guys have a really big dog. And do you know she was a really good watchdog? Do you know what a watchdog is?
It's something that protects you.
That's right. So do you think that Jesus was protecting us by giving us a big dog like this? Because let me tell you, the entire time that we had this dog, nobody ever broke into our house. Because they tried a couple of times. But most of them just never even tried. And if they did try, what do you think she did?
She barked. And then she started chasing them.
That's right. She barked super loud and would wake up my dad, and he would come out, and they would run away, and we'd never even see them.
My grandpa, he has a German Shepherd, and it's part wolf. And one time there was the snow pile, and he busted out, and he got free.
But I bet he's a good watchdog. Most dogs are good watchdogs. Some dogs, maybe not so much, but most dogs will bark when someone comes to the house. So I think that this illustrates one of the ways in which God protects us. God sometimes uses our dogs. He sometimes uses angels. He sometimes uses ways that we don't even know about. But he's always protecting us no matter what happens.
My dogs don't act like that. When there's a stranger coming, they just sniff them and then they just start cuddling with it.
Oh, your dog's very sweet, but he's not a good watchdog, right? So our dog was sweet, but not if you were trying to break in the house. Then she would bark and chase. So I'm just going to close, Amelia, with this one verse that I want you to try to remember. It says, this is from Psalms 16, verse 8. It says, I know the Lord is always with me. I will not be shaken, which means frightened. Will not be frightened because he is right beside me. So we can trust that Jesus is protecting us no matter what happens, even if something bad or something good. Jesus is always right here, right beside us, even though we can't see him, and he's going to protect us. Shall we say a quick prayer? Dear Jesus, we thank you for protecting us in so many ways, most of which we don't even know about on this earth, and we look forward to meeting you again someday soon. Amen.